I had a baby 2 weeks ago, and she is the most beautiful child I've ever seen in my entire life. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video, I will be sharing with you my birth story. I had not the birth that I expected to have, or not the birth that I wanted to have, but everything happened for a reason. So this is going to be a pretty long story. So let's just hop right into it. So I want to start by saying that my pregnancy was absolutely perfect health-wise. Like, I was 5 stars all across the board. Like, every time my doctor would see me, everything would be great. I wasn't high risk. I didn't have any problems. I passed my glucose test on the first try. I had a great anatomy scan. Everything was great up until 33 weeks, when all hell broke loose, to say the least. Okay, so I'm 33 weeks pregnant. I'm literally laying in bed, watching TV, watching This Is Us to be exact. And I feel like a little pop down there in my V area. And I'm like, did I just pee myself? I'm like, oh my God, I just peed myself, right? Come to find out, it was not pee. It was blood. It was blood dripping down my legs. I run to the bathroom and more blood. So at this point, I'm like freaking out because you're not supposed to bleed when you're pregnant, okay? So I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I call my OB office. It's like 5, maybe like a little bit after 5. So they're not open. No one's answering the phone. I'm like, I thought this was 24 hours. I asked you guys, could I call 24 hours if I needed you? And y'all said it was 24 hours. But I ended up, it ended up like going to like the nurse or whatever, and then they didn't answer the phone, and they said they basically, it was like a automated system that said that they would call me back if I leave a message. So I'm like, I don't have time for you to call me back. I need help now. So I called 911, y'all. I'm like, 911 emergency. You guys, I'm bleeding and I'm pregnant, right? So they're like, do you want me to call an ambulance? And I'm like, no, I will just, go to my nearest hospital, because I thought in my head, I was like, do I want to go to the hospital I'm giving birth at, or do I want to go to just the nearest hospital? Because this could be like a really, really, really important emergency. So I'm like, let's just go to the nearest hospital. So we go to the nearest hospital. It's like 5 minutes away. And I get there and immediately is rushed to the labor and delivery. And the nurse is like, the first thing the nurse says is like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you came because it's not looking too good. Way to scare me, right? She's like, it's not looking too good. She's like, your baby's heart rate is dropping. She's like, your heart rate is dropping. And they put me on these fluids, and I'm just laying there. And then the person who comes in to do the ultrasound comes in, and basically she was like, I can't show you this ultrasound because it's against the rules. So I'm like, that's weird, right? I don't know if that's the thing that they do at different hospitals or whatever, but I never experienced it. I'm like, let me see the ultrasound. Let me see my baby, right? She didn't let me see it, right? In so many other words, she's just like, you basically have to deliver right now. They call in the main doctor, and she comes in and she talks to me, and everybody is basically saying like, it's not looking too good, and the best thing to do would be to try to have the baby now. I was like, well, is it any way that we can, transfer me to my regular hospital that my OB is in, and I can just go there? Because I'm like on the phone with my mom and stuff, and she's just like, you don't need to be delivering at this hospital. This is a random hospital, blah, 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 blah. And I had did like so much research beforehand, because I really wanted to deliver at this one specific hospital. Like, it's supposed to be one of the top hospitals in the nation to deliver babies and all this stuff, and just so many good things. And I had really good experiences with my OB group. It was like a group of doctors. Like, I didn't have like one specific OB, but I had like a group of 4, and whoever was on call would be the one to deliver. And I liked all those people. Like, they were very, very good doctors. So I wanted to make sure that I delivered at that hospital. They said, you know, we can't hold you hostage here. Like, if you want to go to the other hospital, you have to leave now and you have to immediately go. So I like signed the papers or whatever to get out of that hospital, and we drove 40 minutes to the hospital that I ended up delivering at. So I get to my hospital, right? And they're like so thorough. Like, they're doing everything. Like, they're like much more thorough than the other hospital, I would just say. And they just basically they send me to the high risk doctor, and I'm going over the ultrasound with him. Now, at this hospital, they let me see the ultrasound. So I'm like, okay, great, right? Oh, and at the other hospital, I forgot to tell y'all, at the other hospital, when I was talking to the doctor said that she delivered at the hospital that I ended up delivering at. So I'm like, if you didn't even deliver at this hospital that you work at, why would I want to deliver here? You know? But anyways, I digress. So I'm sitting there talking to the high risk doctor, and he's basically saying, like, we're just gonna like wait a while. We're just gonna watch what's going on, because in the ultrasound it didn't look that bad. Like, it didn't look like it was like a severe needing to get it, induced immediately type of situation. He was like, we're gonna wait. You're 33 weeks. I do want you to get the steroid shot just in case, because I do think that you are going to deliver preterm, but we want to, see if we can go a little bit longer, and we're just going to monitor you. Like, we're not going to let you out of the hospital. So I was in the hospital for like a week and a half, right? The bleeding had stopped. I didn't start bleeding again while I was at the hospital. I was like at the point where I was just like wanted to go home, because I'm like, I'm not bleeding anymore. Like, I got my steroid shots, and steroid shots is basically like it helps the baby's lungs to develop. So if you do have a preterm baby, their lungs will be developed, which is great, because you don't want to have a preterm baby and their lungs aren't developed. It's a much worse situation. So after like the week and a half, I'm just like in the hospital eating all the good food. They had some good food. I'm like in the hospital just eating, just chilling for like a week and a half. I wanted to go home. I'm seeing my high risk doctor every single day, and he's just like, he was just like not wanting me to go home because my baby wasn't moving. She wasn't like super active. Now, my baby, my whole entire pregnancy had been extremely active, but she wasn't like active whenever we would do the ultrasound. She would just be in there asleep. But at nighttime, she would be like moving and kicking and all this stuff. And I'm like, she moves, she kicks, she's fine. But they're like, no, we can't let you go because the baby isn't moving the way that they wanted her to move, right? So I'm stuck in that hospital. So the baby finally moves on one of the ultrasounds, and they're like, okay, you don't seem to be bleeding. We're gonna send you home. We're just gonna monitor things. And if you start back bleeding, you need to come back to the hospital immediately, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, right? I get home. I go to sleep. I sleep for such a long time. I'm having like a good night's rest, right? The next day, the very next day, like I like chill all day or whatever, and then that night I start bleeding again. And at that point, I'm just like, I gotta go. Like, it wasn't like as much blood as the first time I was bleeding, but it was like, clearly blood that wasn't supposed to be there, right? Hey, like, let's just go back to the hospital. And I go back to the hospital. I see the high risk doctor again, and he's just like, oh, you again, right? After I done begged him to go home the past like 3 days before. He's just like, okay, we're not gonna play these games. He's going over the ultrasound or whatever. He literally tells me, like, we're not gonna like keep doing this. Like, you can't keep coming back in here and getting ultrasounds. It clearly sees that this is progressively getting worse. So what happened was my placenta had abrupted, and I guess before, like the week before, it wasn't showing that it was like too much separation from my placenta and the lining. But when I came back, it was like much more separation, and I think I had like a blood clot or something, and it just wasn't looking good at all. Like, okay, well, you're gonna have this baby. He says that we most likely are going to have to give you a C-section. a cesarean, right? Hey, like at that point, like I kind of accepted my fate. That's not something that I wanted to do. I definitely didn't want to have a C-section. I definitely didn't want to give birth at 34 weeks because I was 34 weeks at that point. But I'm like, okay. And then he leaves out the room, and then I just start crying hysterically, guys. Like, I just start crying hysterically because what the heck? Like, this is not the way I wanted my pregnancy to go. Like all of these thoughts are going through my head. Like I'm like, my baby is gonna have to go and be in the NICU. They're telling me like if I don't have this baby right now, because the placenta erupted, that she's gonna lose oxygen and basically she won't make it, and I could possibly hemorrhage, and basically I won't make it. So that's just, you have to have the baby, right? So the nurse comes in, who is taking me back up to my room, and she's just like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "Because they told me I have to have my baby." And I'm just like crying hysterically and stuff. And she's just like, "Oh, well, how many weeks are you?" And I'm like, "I'm 34 weeks." And she's like, "Okay, well, 34 weeks is good. Like, we have like babies that are preterm. They're like 23 weeks, 24 weeks. Like, you're good. Like the baby, 34 weekers are, normally do well." That kind of like calmed me down. I'm on the phone with like my mom and stuff, and she's just like not understanding this, why I have to give birth right now. She's just like hysterical. She's just like, "Why do you have to give birth right now?" Blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, "Ma, I have to give birth right now because if I don't, no one will make it. And looking back on the situation, it is like very, very scary, just thinking about it. But yeah, that's what it was. So I get back to the room. Actually, they take me to a new room. They take me to the labor and delivery room, and I have to get induced. They basically was like, "Do you want to try to just get induced, or do you want to schedule a C-section?" I was like, "I want to try to give birth naturally, vaginally. So like, just induce me. I'm like, let's see where it goes." They like, if the baby does not respond well to this, you're gonna have to get a C-section, right? I'm like, well, let's just try. Like, let's just try. I'm looking at my husband. I'm looking at my mom. They're both like, like just try to have the baby the natural way. That's what I do. I get induced, you guys. They check my cervix, right? And I'm like maybe 1 centimeter dilated. I'm like having contractions. I was having contractions like for a long time. Like the whole week I was in the hospital beforehand, I was having like small contractions. And I'm having contractions now at this point. So when I don't even know what they gave me to induce me. I can't remember. When I say this was the worst pain I ever experienced in my life, those contractions hurt so bad. People say that, getting induced hurts more than like just natural contractions occurring. That, listen, that was the worst pain that I've ever experienced ever. Like it was like demons torturing me every 3 minutes, and every time that it would like die down, it would start back up. Like I can feel it like revving back up, and I just have nightmares about it. Like it was so traumatizing. Like it was bad. And then like my nurse would come in or my doctor would come in and be like, "Oh, let's see how much you dilated." And I would only literally be at 1 centimeter. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I gotta get to 10. I gotta, like, I can't imagine anything worse than this. Like the pain was unbearable, you guys. So that wasn't working, obviously, if I'm only 1 centimeter dilated. So they put the balloon in me at that point, and the balloon didn't hurt at all. Like I didn't feel any pain. I don't even remember like it going up me or anything like that. Like it didn't hurt. But then like the doctor that was on shift that night came in, and she wasn't a part of my medical group. She was just like a random doctor. And when I say this doctor kind of traumatized me, she was like a little short lady with a bob. And this lady she came in there, she's just like, I don't know why they would even I don't know why they would even suggest that you would do something like this. Like, I think that you should immediately schedule a C-section or whatever. I guess because like my baby wasn't reacting well to the contractions. I wasn't reacting well to the contractions. It was just bad. And basically she was just like saying like, you should get a C-section. And I was like, well, if I have a C-section right now, like, who's going to do it? And she's just like, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, I don't even know you, right? And I was like, it's my doctor. This like one lady who I always like would see or whatever as my main doctor. I was like, is my doctor going to be in tomorrow? And just so happened, just my luck, she was on call for tomorrow. And I was like, yes. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm gonna wait until the morning. It was like the middle of the night when I was talking to this doctor, because they do 7 to 7 shifts. So I was like, I'm gonna just wait until 7 for when my main doctor come, and I'm gonna talk to her about it or whatever. And she was like, okay, well, I hope for your sake that she does come. I'm like, what? Like, she was so mean. And I went to sleep that night with the balloon in me. And I was like having nightmares and stuff because I was like, oh my gosh, this lady is going to come in and sweep me away and just cut my baby out of me and steal my baby. Like, I was so paranoid. Anyway, so the next day my doctor comes in. She basically reiterates the exact same thing that this other lady was saying. And it's not about, sometimes it's not that you don't want to hear what people are saying. It matters who says it. You know what I'm saying? So when my doctor said it, I guess I just kind of like made me feel like more comfortable doing it. But yeah, like nobody wanted me to get a C-section. I definitely didn't want to get a C-section. I was so afraid because just imagine like you are getting cut open and you're awake to feel it. You know what I mean? Like, it was so traumatizing just to even think. But also, like, I had a nurse that night who said she had 2 C-sections, and then my other nurse that morning, she was just telling me like she had just got back from maternity leave that day, and she was telling me how she had a C-section, how she had to get an emergency C-section at full term. Like everything was going great, and her baby's heart rate started dropping, and she had to be rushed to get an emergency one. She was just telling me her experience, and that it wasn't really that bad, and like, you know, like it'll be okay. And that like really, really helped me. And that's how I know God is real, because God always puts like the right people at the right time, because I was very, very scared. Like, I was very, very like traumatized, like to the core. Like, I was not trying to do it, but I knew like I had to do it because, you know, my baby was at risk and I was at risk, and it was a either do or die situation, literally. And I looked at my husband. He's just like, I don't know, man. I look at my mom. She's like, no, no. And then I look at myself and I'm just like, I have to do it. I don't want to be in a situation where I have to have an emergency C-section. I go through all of this pain and all this torture of trying to get induced and trying to have the baby. And my baby, I know that my baby is just not responding well to these contractions. And in the end, I still have to be rushed to have a C-section. And it's only like I only got like 3 minutes to have it. And something could go wrong. And in my head, like the best situation to be is to just schedule the C-section, have everybody like prepared. It doesn't have to be rushed or anything like that, and just do it. So that's what I did. I told my doctor, I was just like, let's just schedule this C-section, schedule this. Said, okay, we can do it within 2 hours. And I was like, okay. Now I had to get an epidural, right? Everybody says the epidurals are like super, super scary, super, super painful. I'm like, okay, let's do the epidural. I had been begging for an epidural because those contractions were hurting so bad the night before. But anyways, so I had to get an epidural because when you get a C-section, obviously you get an epidural. The epidural man comes in, and God bless this man. He has the hands of magic. Like, I felt nothing. Like, I literally didn't even feel the needle go in my back. Like, I felt nothing, right? And yeah, I get the epidural, and they whisked me away to surgery. Yeah, so I'm in the surgical room, and the epidural actually made me like start shaking like very, very bad. They said it was a natural like side effect of the epidural, and I don't know. Y'all tell me if y'all ever experienced that, but I was shaking like so bad. Like, it was like Like it was so bad. Like it looked like an exorcism. Like if anybody was to like not know the context of what was going on, that I was getting a C-section, they would probably think that I was just like possessed by demons or something. Like I was shaking like that bad. When I got into the room, I was so scared. Like I was like so terrified. Um, I remember looking at one of the doctors. It was a doctor that was behind me, and I remember looking at him, and I was like, I don't want to look. I don't want to see it. So like I had my eyes closed the whole time, and they were like, "You're gonna feel like some pulling or stuff," and I felt the baby like being pulled out of me, and that was just like the weirdest feeling ever. And it was like blood shooting everywhere. Like my husband was like, it was blood everywhere. Like it was blood on my shirt. It was like blood on the other doctor. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what a sight to see. Like what a traumatic experience. So, anyways, so they take the baby to the side, and I guess like they like, clean her up or whatever. And like they bring the baby to me, and I just look at the baby, and when I say like this was the most beautiful baby I have ever seen in my life. Like the girl is gorgeous. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like that's her. I remember like saying that out loud. I was like, that's her. Like she's so pretty. Like she is so gorgeous. Like, oh my gosh. Like I just couldn't believe it, right? So they whipped her away. Like I didn't even get to hold my baby. I didn't none of that stuff. Like they just whipped her away to the NICU. And then they took me to this room or whatever, after delivery room or whatever. That's when I guess I was diagnosed with preeclampsia. And I had noticed like some swelling around like week 31, week 32. Like my feet was getting like really, really swollen. Y'all, like I was gaining like so much weight. Like I literally was stand on a scale one day and I would be 10 pounds more than I was 2 days before. Like it was scary. Like I was gaining so much weight. Come to find out that was all just water weight due to the preeclampsia, a lot of swelling. My hands were so swollen that you couldn't even see, like, the lines in my hands. You couldn't see that. Like my feet were swollen. They was like this big. My ankles were huge. Like it was crazy. My neck was like, it had rolls in my neck. It was just like crazy. Like it was so much. So all that was, I guess, due to the preeclampsia, and because I had got diagnosed with that preeclampsia, I had to immediately get rushed to someplace else, and they put me on the magnesium drip. And when you get magnesium drip, you're basically like out of it. Like at least I was out of it. You have to be on that for 24 hours. So they also gave me like some pills or something. I can't remember what it was called, but it kind of like drained all the fluids in me. And because I did have that urinary, what is it called? The catheter or whatever. I had that. It was like buckets of buckets of buckets of gallons of water just coming, and fluids coming out of me. My nurse was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like she went and showed the other nurses that I had like so much fluid in me, but it was crazy. And my blood pressure was like super, super high. That's another reason why I was diagnosed with the preeclampsia, and they wouldn't let me leave, y'all. Because if you got preeclampsia, you have the risk of like seizures and heart attacks and just all type of bad things could happen. And a lot of people have to give birth early because they do have preeclampsia. And I never had, like I told y'all in the beginning, like I never had a problem in my pregnancy with high blood pressure or anything like that. I never had high blood pressure in my life until this point. I didn't get to see my baby until like, I had my baby this day. I didn't get to see my baby until the next day at night. So well over 24 hours. I finally got to, make my way up to the NICU. Somebody rolled me up to the NICU. I was in a wheelchair. And yeah, I finally got to hold my baby. I was in so much pain, like so much pain. Like if you ever had a C-section, it's a lot of pain, y'all. Like it was a lot of pain. I was on a lot of drugs. Um, it helped a little bit, but it was very, very painful. Like it hurt to cough, it hurt to sneeze. Um, it still hurts sometimes. It's been 2 weeks, but it probably took me about 4 days to feel, you know, feel okay, like feel better, be able to walk. And then like maybe like a week to feel like kind of back to myself. Um, but yeah, y'all, like it's been a crazy, crazy 2 weeks. I can't believe it's been 2 whole weeks since I had my baby. And yes, she's doing great. Like she's doing really, really well. She spent a lot of time in the NICU, and I really think that everything happens for a reason. Like the NICU, those people over there, they run a very, very tight ship, like a very tight ship. Like everything is like done a certain way, and I think that kind of helped me to transition into motherhood a little bit better. I just basically follow their playbook and just do whatever they do. But my baby, she's a doll. Like she really is just such a sweet baby. Like she sleeps, she eats, she looks at you. And she's so, so sweet. She was tiny. When she was born, she was 4 pounds, 10 ounces. She lost a little bit of weight and then she gained it back. And now she is past her birth rate. Now she's 5 pounds, 8 ounces. So I'm so, so, so proud of my girl. Like, I am so proud of her. She is just like my whole heart. Um, but yeah, you guys, like it was crazy. Like, I hope this is a cautionary tale for you guys. Like, check your blood pressure. That is, if you don't take anything else from this video, is if you're pregnant, make sure to get one of those blood pressure things off Amazon and check your blood pressure regularly because, everything can be going great in your pregnancy, and then something something can go wrong. But everything worked out in the end. I'm very, very happy. I still take my blood pressure medication. um, oh, and it took them a long, long, long time to release me. Like everybody else, all my friends and stuff, got released within 3 days. I was in that hospital for such a long time. Like overall, I think I was in the hospital for like maybe like 3 weeks altogether. So basically, the whole month of March, I was in the hospital. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I know a lot of you have been with me since I was like 20, 19 years old in college. Now you can watch me go into motherhood, and I finally feel like an adult. But yeah, this video is super, super long, but I really, really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give me a huge thumbs up if you did. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below so you can be notified whenever I post a new video, and hit the bell so the notifications come straight to your phone. You can follow me on any of my social media at Miriam J. Hampton and MH Hair Care, and I will see you guys next time.